Okay, welcome guys. Welcome to July QA training. I think hope you guys are excited to start your career in QA, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that's great. Um, so before getting into the course, first let me introduce myself. Okay, my name is Balu. I have over 20 years of experience in IT industry. So I have played various roles in QA from test analyst to program test manager and a delivery lead. And I'm experienced in manual QA, automation, performance, security testing, failover, disaster recovery, so on and so forth. And also, I worked in various domains, including banking, insurance, and also I worked in education services and also energy and utilities. Okay, they're the various domains. And also, I have the experience, global experience as well. Okay, that's a brief about myself. And coming to the course, right? So this course is spread across 3 weeks. I think everyone would have received this email, the course content. Okay. So I hope everyone would have, whoever registered, right? You would have received this email. So this email has all the links, including the Zoom. The first link is for the Zoom. This is where like okay, every day we'll join and we'll have the class. And the second one is all the material assignments and class recordings. Everyone is saved in the Google Drive. And the third one is the Confluence for the document related assignments. Right, we'll do it in the Confluence. And Jira is for the we use it for project management, test management. Okay, so these are the important links. And also, if you would like, you can join the Telegram group as well. And in the email, I have attached the course content. So, what is the course content for this course? Now, let us quickly. I'll spend few minutes to walk you through like what we are going to cover. Okay. So the first week, so we are going to cover the fundamentals. Okay. So people who are new to the software industry or the software testing, the first week will give you very good understanding of what is a QA and what are the important concepts in a QA. Okay, it starts with what is a software testing life cycle, development life cycle, different types of testing, okay, and different types of scenarios. All this will cover during week one. By end of week one, so you will get into the software tester's mindset. What does it mean? So you will start thinking about what is a QA does. Okay, so you will get into the QA shoes by end of week one. In the week two, so we cover the agile concept. So we cover Jira tool for the project management. That is where we cover the requirements, creating the epics, creating the user stories, and also we'll creating the Kanban board. And we'll also understand what is a sprint backlog, product backlog, and also we'll create few reports and also we create few filters, dashboards. So all this will cover. And then Jaffa scale is the test management tool. Okay, so that is where we will create the test case, we will execute the test case, we'll create the test cycles, and also we'll generate various reports. And also we'll cover what is a test plan, what is a test strategy, how to create them, and also we'll cover what is a daily status report and what is the significance of test summary report. And in the week two, right? So I tell the same thing to every batch. This is the core engine for the course. Okay. So this is the day in and day out activities we do in a that software project. Okay. So the week two, you will get a lot of hands-on. So you use Jira, you use Confluence, and you use the Jaffa scale. You'll be creating a lot of epics, and you'll be creating a lot of test cases, defects, and you'll be generating a lot of the reports, automatic reports. Okay, the week two is a core engine, and then we'll on the week three, right? We'll get into the advanced topics. Um, the API testing is when using Postman tools. So here actually we'll cover the basics of API testing and what are the features in Postman. So how to use a few of the services in Postman. So this will give you very good understanding of like okay how to use Postman, how to what is the API, how to create a request, okay, and also what we'll do is we'll try to create one or two automation test cases as well, and then we'll get into the database testing. Okay, so again it is very important. Here we'll cover the basics of SQL. Okay, so what is exactly required for the testers, right? That level of basic SQL queries we'll create and we'll learn, and then we'll see few database testing scenarios. There we will use the application as well. So we'll be creating the data from front end, and we'll see whether that details are reflecting in the database or not. Those will cover as part of the database testing. And then what we'll do is we'll take the one end-to-end scenario and we'll again refresh like, okay, how the whole process is uh, working, okay, in a project. And then we'll touch base on the ETL and business intelligence testing. Just we'll understand what exactly we do there. And finally, we'll get into the resume preparation and interview questions and what are the certifications available and what are the freelancing websites, freelancing portals available for the testers to practice. So all those will cover on the last day. So during this course, right, these are the tools we'll be covering. The browser stack is one of the widely being used the platform for the browser compatibility and mobile compatibility testing. And then Postman, this is API. This is for the API testing. Again, this is one of the widely being used tool for the API validation. And the Jira we use for the project management, and Confluence for the document management. And we use MySQL for the database testing. And then Jaffa scale, uh, we use the Jaffa scale for the test management. And during our course, right, we will also touch base on the chat GPT. So how to use the prompts and how to get the help from the chat GPT. Okay, Sami, dating is not in order. It's showing early weeks of July. Oh, okay. Okay. I think there is a mistake. I think let me open the correct one. Okay, thanks for highlighting this. Okay, so this is the correct dates. It starts from 22nd July and it will go till 8th of August. But we'll have one or two buffer days as well. In case if you missed or actually if it is overrun, like we'll have a couple of the buffer days as well. Okay, so that is a brief about the course content. So until then, do you guys have any questions? Okay, so if nothing, then we'll straight away get into the day one course. And during the session, right? So what I advise is everyone, please switch off your cameras and also mute your the mics as well. Okay, because all these sessions are recorded, and next time if you want to again go through the recordings, right, you should not give any disturbances. So that's why I suggest everyone to go on mute and also switch off your cameras. Okay, all these sessions are recorded, and you will have the unlimited access to these recordings and materials. And in case if you are uplifting or upgrading our content, right, so what we'll do is we'll give the access to the latest course materials and recordings. Okay, let's get started. And as I said, right, we'll start with the baby steps, because I know like few of you might have the exposure to the software and few of my might not have the exposure to the software. So to bring everyone in line, right? So what we'll do is we'll start with the baby steps. Okay. And also, here in today's class, right, we'll start with a few basics. And also don't presume like, okay, this is a very the basic content and all, but that's how actually we started, and progressively will increase the complexity. Okay, so that is where I showed you we cover a lot of tools. Okay, it is just not the theoretical one, it is a pure hands-on, the course. And each class class by class the complexity will increase, and also you'll gain a lot of knowledge. Okay, let's first start with what is a software. So, what is a software? In simple words, software is nothing but any working piece of a code. What is a software? Software is nothing but any working piece of a code. Either it is a big or small, doesn't matter. Okay, so anything which will give the output, that is called a software. Now let us see simple example. So everyone knows about the calculator, right? I think everyone uses the calculator, I'm sure. So earlier days, we used to use the physical devices to do the calculations, right? Until the software is invented, and until the mobile apps are widely being used. So we used to use this physical device to do the calculations using the calculator. If you see here, every mobile, every computer, by default, there'll be a calculator. And it has two options. One is a standard, another one is a scientific. Okay. If I take this example, right? So this is again, it is developed by the software programmers. They have written some program which will give the output is this. So I have the front end. This is the front end. In the front end, I can see all the numbers, all the symbols, all those. This is called a front end. And I have the operations as well. Okay, logic written in the code. So if I use 9 multiply by 5, so it will multiply these two and give me the output. How does it happen? It is written through the software program. Okay. So all this is developed by whom? Software developer. What is our role here? What is our role here is what we do is we validate each and every function here. Okay. So I have the plus, I have minus, I have multiplication, I have the division, I have the clear, I have the square root, and also I have the square, 1 by x percentage. So all these options are there, right? As a tester, what we will do is we'll use all these options and see everything is working as per the requirement. Okay. Everything is working as per the requirement. It's starting from the design. How the calculator is designed is as per the requirement. Is the calculations. Everything is working as per the requirements. We validate all the possible scenarios. Okay. We will validate all the possible scenarios and ensure, okay, this is working fine. Okay. For any application, right? Any product, QA plays a major role to certify that application works fine. How do they do? They have to go through the lot of validations that we'll learn during the course. Okay. So that is a software. And now, what is a software? Testing. And why it is important? And I think most of the guys, right, most of the people, okay, software testing is, okay, software testing means it is automation. Is it correct? No, it is not correct. For any application, right, it is very important to validate each and every each and every functionality. And also we have to ensure the good user experience. How can we do that? First, we have to do manually. Okay. Manually, we have to validate. And because see, you are the end user, you will be able to experience and you will be able to validate each and every functionality. And once you enable yourself on the manual testing, what is the manual tester's role? Manual tester's role is they have to understand the big picture of the project. Okay, unlike a developers or the business analyst or whoever it is, right? The testers they have to understand the big picture of the application. They have to understand, okay, what the end user is going to use. Okay, what the end user is going to use this functionality for. Will that end user be happy? So all those validations will be done by the testers. And when does automation comes into the picture? If you have the repeated tasks and you have the repeated task and you have to repeatedly test certain functionality after every change, that is where actually you use automation, mainly for the regression testing. Okay. So these terms actually we will understand in detail when we get into all this. Okay. First, if you completely enable on manual testing, right? First, if you understand the QA, what is the purpose of QA and how important it is to the application. Okay. And once you know how to write the test cases and how to validate each the test case, and then actually you can slowly enable yourself to the automation. You can uplift to the automation. To do the automation, you need to you need to have some knowledge on the coding. Are we are you ready to learn the automation? To learn the automation, you need to at least learn one coding language, either Python or Java or C, C++, anything is fine. But you need to enable yourself on the coding, any coding language. Then you can move it into the automation. And most of the people, right? So what they do is once they are completely enabled on the manual testing or the manual QA, and then slowly they will actually enhance the skills to the automation. There are so many automation tools. Whichever is easy, you can start with that. That is a next step. So in this course, right, we mainly focus on the manual QA. And you might get a question, okay, do we have the enough jobs for the manual QA? and are the jobs only for the automation? No, even the manual QA, right? You have the equal opportunities. You have the equal opportunities for the manual QA as well. Okay, towards the end of this session, right, I'll show you how many jobs are there for the manual QA as well across the globe. Okay, so now let's move on to first understand what is the software development life cycle. Now let us understand software development life cycle. Before getting into the software development life cycle, let me take some generic example. Let me take one generic example. Constructing a house. So how do you do the how do you construct a house? What do you do first? First, what do you need? You need a site,
Thailand.
right? You need a site. Second, you need a architecture and design. So architecture and design. So this is where you will tell that okay, in the site, you have the site and your requirement is to build two-story house. And then you need to have four bedroom and three bath and one kitchen and one living. This is your requirement. And your site may be 18 to 60. Okay. Now you have your requirements. Who is the architect and designer? These are again engineers, right? What they do, they'll see like, okay, we got the requirement from the client. Now we have to design the plan. And what they do, okay, so this is what the complete site. Okay, so in the site, leave this front and back and sides. Now you have this area. In this area, how do you construct, how do you fit in the client requirement? Okay, after entering, you will have one garage here, and right side you'll have one bedroom, and then you'll have kitchen, you'll have living, again you'll have the bedroom, and same in the first floor. Okay, so this is the design will be given by the architecture and design. Okay, now all good. Now I have my requirements and also I have my design. What next? What next? So the next step is they'll engage the builder or construction team, right? And what these guys do, who are all will be there in the building and construction. You will have your construction team, you have your the electrical, and you have the plumbing team, you will have the carpenter, right? This is so many guys will be there. Okay, this is the whole team is called a construction team. And what they do, each team, they follow the plan. Okay, this is the plan. Now I have to, as a constructor, okay, I need to build the walls and frames, everything as mentioned in the design document. And these guys will, okay, okay, they'll do this one. Electric team, okay. This team, first in the living room, how many lights should be there? Okay. How many, the sockets should be there? The charging sockets. Likewise, in each room, how many fans and how many AC outlets should be there? Okay. And do we have the intercom? So all these requirements, right, whatever mentioned in this document, so that these guys will follow and actually fix it. Similarly, plumber, what they do? All the plumbing work, all the, all the plumbing work, how the drainage, all those stuff they'll work on, and also they'll fix all the taps and uh, shower screens, all those stuff. Actually, they'll fix it. And then carpenter, what are the shelves they require? Okay, in the kitchen, bedrooms, all those actually they'll be done by the carpenter. And also kitchen team, appliances team, they will come and fix the appliances, right? So once all is done, what is the next step? What is the QA or QC, quality control? This is where that engineers will come and they will check each and every aspect whether everything is built as per the plan. Okay, or are there any issues? Okay, and QA or QC, they will check each and every aspect. If there are any issues, they'll highlight it and ask the builder to fix it. Okay, and if everything is okay, okay, everything is perfect, everything is built as per the plan, there is no issue, and then they will certify like, okay, it is followed all the guidelines, it is followed and it is constructed as per the design, it has all the compliances, everything, okay, all good, and they'll approve it. And then final step, what do we do? Handover. Who will get the handover? The house owner. House owner does get the handover, and what he does, he will just check actually if you, okay, everything is like, okay, working fine, all the switches, all the design, and so all the plumbing work, okay, and even his appliances, everything he'll check and he'll say like, okay, okay, I think looks good. And once he gets a handover, right, there will be warranty. Okay, so within 90 days, if there is any issue with any of the items, like, okay, after moving in, so the builder will provide the support warranty period of 90 days or 1 year. It depends on the warranty period. And those 90 days, the builder will support if there are any issues comes. Okay. This is how the whole process works, right, in constructing the house. Okay. So there are various stages, right? One is, first is the requirement phase, second is architecture and design phase, and third is a builder or construction phase, and fourth is a QA phase, fifth is a handover or handover and warranty. These are the five phases in building the house, right? Similar process. The similar process exists in software development as well. Okay. Now let us see what are the various stages in the software development lifecycle. Before going to the software development lifecycle, I'll take a pause here and I just want to check whether the speed what actually I am just following, is it fine or do you want me to slow down a bit? And are you guys clear about what we have discussed so far?
Yes.
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 Okay. That is good. Okay. So let me now move it into our first topic, software development life cycle. Similar to the example what we have seen in the constructing a house, right? Even in the software development life cycle, the same process exists. First,
Requirement phase,
yes, requirement phase. Second is,
design,
yeah, architecture and design. Third phase is coding.
coding, developing.
Yeah, coding or development. Fourth is
Testing,
QA. Yeah, QA slash testing. Fifth one is production deployment and maintenance.
maintenance.
Okay. So these are the main phases in the software development lifecycle. Now let us understand. Okay. So who will give me, suppose if I want to build a e-commerce application. So uh, everyone is actually well versed with the e-commerce application, right? E-commerce application is nothing but online shopping, right? It's one of the example. Let me take the e-commerce application. Now, so let me take somebody from this group. Okay, Alex. Now, Alex wanted to build a e-commerce application. Okay, e-commerce application. What are the functionalities will be there in the e-commerce application? You basically will have, there will be two modules, right? Admin module and also customer module. In the admin module, what they manage? They manage the inventory and also the bank details, account information. So that will be there in the admin. Okay. So who will have the admin access? The people who owns the products. Listen carefully. People who owns the product. Okay. So they will have the admin rights because they are the one who will post the products. Like today, if you log into the Amazon, right, there you will see all the products. So who will do that? So who will post those products? That will be done by the admin team. Admin team. For that, you need to do the sign up and you update all the details. Then only you will be able to do the all these activities. Then customer role. What is a customer role? You sign up and then you select the product. You search the product. Okay. You add to the cart, check out, and also complete the order and do the payment and track the shipment and see your previous orders. Okay. So these are the functionalities. So Alex came like, okay, so I want to build a e-commerce application. So now I think like, okay, these are my high level requirements. In the software or agile world, who is he now? He is the owner. We call it as a product owner. Who is Alex? Alex is a product owner. Now what he does, okay, he knows he has the vision. The owner will have the vision. What is the outcome he is expecting? And then requirements, right? It is not enough for him to like, okay, drill down the detail, the functionalities. Okay, that is where what he takes. He takes the help from the business analyst. Okay, business analyst. He will take the help from the business analyst. He will tell that, okay, I want this sign up. So you just actually do some R&D and let me know like what are all the screens should be there, what are all the fields should be there. So all this will be done by the business analyst. Okay. Together, product owner and business analyst, they'll come up with the detailed requirements. This is the first phase. Now, okay, I have my requirements. I know like, okay, what I have to achieve when the end product is ready. So basically, I wanted the sellers. Sellers is nothing but admins. They will have the access to update the inventory and update the product, update the bank account details, all those stuff. And the general customer side, they should be able to access all these products by the different sellers, and they should be able to complete the purchase. And also they should be able to track the product. Okay, and also they should be able to see the previous orders as well. So this is the functionality. And what business analyst does, he will go and see like what is the detailed process, and then they will finalize this one. Now I have my detailed requirements. What is the next step? Next, go into the next page. What is the next step?
The design phase.
Yes. Okay. Now this is a critical phase. Like, okay, whatever the design and architecture uh, you finalize, right? Based on that, only the next complete development depends. That is where, like, okay, the, the architect, designer, right? Sometimes actually both roles will be played by one guy only, and sometimes they'll have the two different roles as well. This is the second phase, architecture and design. What is architecture and design? Now, okay, architecture, front end, what language and what technology we have to use? Is it React? Is it a Flutter? Is it a CSS? Okay, so that they will actually finalize. After that, what is my code logic? Is it using the Node.js? Is it using the APIs? Is it using the microservices? Or will it be with the core Java? And so on and so forth. They'll design this. And then what would be my database? Is it a SQL server? Is it a MongoDB? Is it a PostgreSQL? What is my search engine? Is it Elasticsearch or anything? What is my messaging server? Is it IBM, MQ or Kafka? So all these, right? Based on this, actually they will finalize the architecture. Okay. Now they know which technology they have to use and how the communication happens between the modules. Now designer. Now they will go with the detailed design. Detailed designing. Okay. Now when I click on sign in, sorry, sign up, what are all the fields should be there? and how do they place. Okay, all these like first name, last name, email address, all this come under design. Okay, and database schemas, how to design. Okay, what are all the different tables? All those will be done by the designer. Now, if we take the example here, go here, just type amazon.com and go here. If it is a new year, new user, click on start here. This is one design. Are you getting me? So this is one design. Who would have been done this? This would have been done by the designing team. Okay. Similarly, for each and every flow, right, they will they will provide the designing, low level design and also high level design. So this is the second stage. Are you guys clear so far?
Yes.
Excuse
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm completely new to IT. So for somebody like me who has no idea about, like React and Flutter and code login and stuff like that. So for
Hmm.
somebody like me who has no idea, for example, and like how you said architecture and design would decide which one to use, what APIs and stuff like. So for example, somebody like me, how do I simplify this model like you just mentioned that um um
Okay. No, I got your question. It's a very good question. Okay. Because see here what we are trying to do, how the whole development life cycle process works. Okay. Is it really required as a QA to know like whether they are using the React or Flutter or CSS or also Node.js or API or microservice? Is it really required as a QA? In a nutshell, no.
and
Because
what are these
what is
things?
the huh,
What are code login and Node and JS? What are
hmm.
these?
Okay. So the React or Flutter CSS, right? I'll explain you.
Yeah.
Now, if I go back, see here, okay, or amazon.com. Let me just go amazon.com. You can see that lot of images, lot of the ribbons and all the options, right? So these are all designed using these front-end technologies. There are a lot of front-end technologies. CSS is one of them. React is one of them. Flutter is one of them. And there is Angular JS and there is a WordPress. There are so many front-end technologies out there. By using those, these pages are designed. Okay. These pages are designed.
So do we need to know the pages, these names, like as a QA, as a tester?
See, as a tester, we don't require to, but
Okay.
it's good to know, but we don't require because see, if we want to validate today's deal, do you really require where it is developed with? Is it does it matter for the QA?
No.
If you ask me, no. My job is to validate when I click on today's deal whether I am getting the proper output. Okay, whether today's deals are appearing in the page without any issues. That is what my focus will be. I don't care whether it is developed in Flutter or React or Angular or WordPress or any technology. I don't care. As a QA, what I wanted to validate when I check this today's deal, this page, this functionality works fine. I should be able to select all the items here. I should not get any error. That is what my objective is. Getting me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but it is good to know, like, okay, so what are the front end technologies, all those stuff. But in testing, we don't actually care about, like, okay, what technologies they are used.
Okay. So when you mentioned about the life cycle of the software development, so requirement phase is not like is already given to the tester, and also the architecture is also given to the tester. So we are actually stage 4 as a
Yes,
tester.
we are. We what we do is we come after the coding. Okay.
Yeah.
But in during because now everywhere this agile, right? In the agile, it is essential for everyone to understand the requirements at the beginning itself.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So for based on the requirements, they can actually write their test cases and they do their planning, all those stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. In the front-end technologies mainly used to design the pages.
All
And
right.
all the logic, right? Logic would be handled here. This is called business logic layer. This is front end or presentation layer. Front end or presentation layer. This is a business logic layer and this is a database layer. Give me 1 second, guys. My computer is out of charging now. Okay. So all good. So all the logic will be managed in this layer, business logic layer. All your data, every data, right? It will be stored in the database. Okay. So as a tester, if I am a front end tester, right? Okay. If I am a UI tester, user interface tester, my my main objective is to validate whether the functionality is working fine, all the objects are correctly placed or not. Okay. So and whatever the functionality, right? Everything is working without an issue. That is what my objective is. That is up to the developers what technology they use and how they write the code. We don't actually really involve in that. Let's move on to the next phase. What is the next phase? Coding. Okay, similar to the example what we have seen in the building a house, right? Here also the coding development team. So there we have seen, right? There is a plumber, electrician, and the construction team, and the carpenter, all those. Here also, you will have the front-end developer, you will have the business logic layer developers, and also you'll have the database developers. This all team is called development team. Isaac, I'm not going to teach any coding language, but I'll cover the API in Postman and also I'll cover SQL. Okay, the basic queries of SQL which are required for the database testing. Those I'll cover, and also I'll show you the Python, few of the white box testing, right? To show you few of the examples, I'll show you the Python examples as well. But I'm not going to cover any in detail coding language. Okay, so this is a stage 3, right? So based on the design and architect, okay, so architecture, this development team, they build the application. Build the application. Again, the application, whether it will fit into the web and it will fit into the mobile. And also if there is a app, okay. So these are the different variations will be there in the application outlook. And once they complete developing the application, they do certain level of a testing that is called unit testing. Okay. So where do the unit testing they do? They do at the code level. The developers, what they do is like each of the functionality, right? What they do is they execute the code and see whether that code is executing without any issues. And if there are any issues, they do the debugging. Okay, to do the unit testing, you need to have the strong development knowledge or skills. So this will be ideally done by the unit testing will be done by the developers. Remember this. Okay. Now my application is also ready. What next? Next is coming to the testers. Now, next big step is QA. What QA does? QA validates each and every functionality, each and every requirement. Validate every requirement. Where do they validate the every requirement? In the developed application. In the developed application, what QA team does? QA team will go through the each and every requirement and they test all possible conditions, positive testing, negative testing, and ensure that particular functionality works without any issues. Okay? Why this QA plays a major role? Why QA plays a major role? In this competitive world, in this competitive digital world, right? The reputation is very, very key for a success for any company. Okay? What is important? Reputation. When you will get the reputation? When your application is good looking, and it is giving the good user experience, and there are no issues, no downtime. And that is where like, okay, the users also will get attracted, right? Otherwise, okay, I open now one application. Suppose if I open this Amazon.com and when I click on this customer service, it will go to the blank page or it will take some time, okay, to load. And then do the users really be happy with that? No, right? That is why in this competitive market, right, to be there in the game, okay, so they invest a lot of money, they invest a lot of money on the
ఇయర్ఫోన్స్ ది
QA.
డొక్
Guys, can you
Please
please go
mute
on
him.
mute? Okay, that is why every company, every project, they invest significant budget on the QA. Okay, so if you believe it or not, in nowadays there is no project without a QA. Okay, so that much importance. Everyone pays around the QA. Okay, pays the attention around the QA. So we will understand actually more when we get into the scenarios and when we create the test case, we'll understand more. Like, okay, how exactly we do it, how we are helping the project, okay, how we are helping the project, okay, to ensure everything is working fine. So all those will cover. And again, QA, it is now the varieties are there in QA. You will have the system testing, system integration testing, you will have the performance testing, you will have the security testing, um, you will have the disaster recovery testing, okay, you have the UAT testing, you have the BVT, okay, so you will have the database testing, you will have the ETL testing, so many variations, okay. So once you enable on a QA, you can play so many roles. Once you complete this course, right, so you are up for a system testing, you are up for system integration testing, you can do the user acceptance testing, you can do the business verification testing, you can do the database testing. So many variations of testing you will be able to apply for. Okay, so once QA completes and they go with the two options. One is no go live, another one is go live. The QA team certifies this. Who certifies this? QA team. QA team says like, okay, whether you are happy with the functionality and whatever is implemented as per the requirements, are you happy or not? If you are happy and there are no issues, and you say like, okay, yes, all good, you can take it to the next phase. But if you're not happy, there are so many defects, the user experience is not good, then you say like, okay, this application, I think still it needs a lot of stability, so we can't actually deploy directly into the production. So if you put it like this, there will be a lot of issues from the end customers. So that will that will impact the company reputation. Okay, so that's why QA plays a major role to give the to certify whether the application is fit for the end users or not. See, until the requirements, right? The QA attends all the standards. But when it comes to the coding and development related, right? Not necessarily QA team needs to go for those stand-ups. Now let us move on to the final one. What is the final one? The final phase is
Production or maintenance.
production deployment and maintenance. What does it mean? In a building example, we have seen, guys, can you please go on mute, please? Thank you. Production deployment or maintenance. So in
Balu,
production
I
deployment
think,
or maintenance, yeah.
Balu, this is, I mean, a different both are different concepts, right?
Okay, I'll come to that. Okay.
Okay,
So why
okay.
we call it as a, see, in few cases they call it as a two different phases, but in most of the cases we call it as a one in real world. Okay.
Mhm.
So we have seen the example in the constructing the house, right? What is that? What is this phase related to there? Handover and warranty, right? Here also the same thing. So all the changes they deploy into production. Okay. And then once it deploy into the production, right? Again, this maintenance is nothing but a warranty. So there will be hypercare team. Hypercare team is the one, once you deploy the changes, and in case if there is any issues, any defects, or any issues with this application, right? This hypercare team provides the support to fix those issues. Okay. Similarly, there they are giving a warranty for 6 months or 3 months or whatever it is, right? Here also, they will monitor for 3 to 6 months and see whether your application is stable. Okay. So this is called production deployment and maintenance. And there is a one more phase. It's called BAU support. This also comes under maintenance. What is a BAU support? BAU is nothing but business as usual. Business as usual or production support. Okay. So whatever is related to the new application, right? Those will be covered in a this 3 to 6 months time hypercare. After that, if there are issues comes, who will look after? This is the team looks after. This is the team who looks after. What is this phase called? BAU support or production support. So until the project exists, right, this team exists. Until the project exists, this team exists.
Balu, there is another team to support the project. I mean, maintenance.
So yeah, my maintenance, ideally this will be the business team. Okay. So who will be monitoring this application in the production? And also they will have the support team. There'll be developers as well, part of this team. Okay, what they do is whenever there is a issue, these guys will have the complete knowledge of this project, complete knowledge of all the code modules. And whenever there is a issue occur, right, these support teams, they'll fix those issues.
So you mean developers will be responsible after
Correct, yes. There is a separate developers, okay, not part of this product, not part of this application development team. This is a separate, totally different team.
okay.
Okay.
Balu, I also have one more question.
Yeah.
So as a QA, we are basically validating every requirement, like you said, say for example, that e-commerce website, we did the testing, okay, every button is working,
Correct.
sign in, sign out, everything. And once we give any whatever feedback we need to give as a QA, we give it back to the product owner or to the people who are coding and development team.
It is to the development team.
So the one above us, like the number 3.
Number three is the developers who actually develops the application.
Yeah, so
So
then
what, yeah, what is our job? Our job is like, okay, whether each requirement is developed as per the requirement, which is
yeah,
defined by the product owner and the business analyst,
yeah.
whether is uh, is developed as per the requirement or not.
And
If it is developed, that's fine. If there is any deviation, right?
yeah,
Okay, then what we do is we raise that with the developers as a defect.
okay,
Okay, so we log that as a defect in the system and we'll assign it to the developers. What the developers will do? Developers will validate, is it really a issue? If they see that, okay, yes, this is a issue, what the development team does is they will fix that issue in the coding and they redeploy the code into the application in an environment. Like, okay, if we are the testers, right, they will put it into the QA environment. Again, QA, what we do, we will check whether that issue is actually fixed or not. If it is a fixed, what we do, we close that particular defect, and we say like, okay, this requirement is good.
okay. So
Is it clear?
yeah, so then our job is finished over here, or do we still have to go back to stage 5 and then check with production, the maintenance and the
No,
no, we
our
don't
job
have
is
that.
done there.
All right then. Okay.
Our job is done there. Yeah. Okay. So it is very, very important for everyone to understand, like, okay, how the whole software development life cycle works. Yeah. Somebody raised a hand. Yes, please go ahead.
Sure, it's me. Quick question. You
Hmm.
earlier stated that as the testers, we get to test each and every functionality,
Correct.
correct? So do we test the functionality against the acceptance criteria?
Yes, that is right.
Okay, so what about an instance where, let's say, the developer didn't have a chance to clearly state the acceptance criteria for their stories? What will we test against then?
See, that acceptance criteria where it comes is it is not from the developers by any way. It has to come from the product owner and business analyst.
Right.
Okay. So when they define the requirement, right, they will give what I am expecting from this particular requirement. So let us go back quickly and see here. Okay, where did we go with the requirement? Okay, so I have this requirement, right? I have the sign up and I have to select the product, search, all this. These are the requirements will be defined by the product owner and business analyst. When they define this requirement, they will also put the expectation, what I am expecting from this particular functionality. Okay. So the sign up, what is the sign up does? So the new customer, right? New user should be able to successfully sign up to this. And also there shouldn't be duplicate email address. Okay. So all those criteria, they will actually put it here in the acceptance criteria. In case, if anything is not defined, that means that requirement is not clear. It is ambiguity. So how developers will actually develop if they're not clear about the requirement. Before going to the development, right? Developers ask the question to the product owner and business analyst, what exactly you want me to do here? You explain me the flow and you explain me that what you want to achieve by this particular select. Select is a functionality. What do you want me to do? And what is your expectation for the select? And once they understand from the product owner and the BA, right, they will actually update their acceptance criteria. Okay. The user should be able to select multiple items or single item or with the keyword. So all those has to be explained by the product owner. That will become a acceptance criteria for developers or testers.
Thanks.
Okay. Any other questions? Are you guys good so far?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Others, please let me know like okay whether you are following, whether you are good.
Yeah, I have one question here.
Yeah, go on.
Um, in nowadays everybody using Agile. Um, so once we get the requirement, what we will do in that phase? The
Okay.
requirement.
So I I was anticipating this question. Yeah, that is good. Okay. So that we have the separate session for the complete agile. Okay. So how
Okay.
do we go to what is the sprint? What is the sprint backlog? So all this will cover as part of that class.
Okay.
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 So but on a high level, I'll tell you since you asked this question. So in the agile, right, how it works is you first actually like okay what is a product roadmap, product or project roadmap, even though it is for the 6 months, right, or 1 year, like okay next 1 month what you are going to achieve, after next month what is the plan, okay what are the requirements are planned for next month, next sprint. Okay, so that will be defined in the project roadmap or product roadmap. Okay, that we'll learn anyway. Like, okay, once we get into the topic, right? So you will get more idea how it works.
I have a question.
Okay, so will there be any hands-on project on Postman API testing or so API Postman testing? Yes. So we cover the basics, and also I'll explain you at least one full cycle of one example of example. Maybe you can call it as a project. So that actually you'll get a chance to do the hands-on Tripura.
Yeah,
I
thank you.
have a question.
And will there be any tools that you'll be explaining? I mean, along with the postman? You said, I remember you said some other tools apart from postman.
Yeah, I'll show you.
Okay.
So these are the tools. We will we will cover browser stack for browser and mobile compatibility testing, and Postman for the API testing, MySQL for the database testing, and we use the Jaffa scale, that is for the test management tool. Okay, and also we cover Jira for project management and dashboards, all those stuff, and document management to create the test plans, test strategies, test summary report, all those stuff. And then we also use the chat GPT. Okay, so because now everywhere everyone is using chat GPT, right? So how to use and what prompt, like if you need some help, right, and how to use the prompts, that we'll see in the chat GPT. These are the tools we'll be covering.
Okay, thank you so much. And my question is, okay, you will be explaining the tools and you'll be showing us one project, correct? So will there be any, will you be giving any assignments for us where we can do some hands-on on these tools?
Yes, yes, yes. Every day there is a assignment. Okay. All our 12 classes, each class will have the assignment.
Okay.
Okay. From today, it starts with the Confluence and will go till that MySQL Postman. You will have the hands-on on every tool.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, I'll just quickly show you because since you highlighted that, right? How it works is, I'll show you here. I'll just let me open up last batch. Okay. So we have the 12 days, right? Each day it will have the assignment. So assignment will have the detailed steps as well. What is expected from that? Okay, this is a simple one on the day one. Okay. So you have all the steps as well and how to complete the assignment. And also we'll be storing all the materials for each of the class. Okay. And also if there is any additional materials, we'll be putting in other materials, and each class is recorded. Okay. So it will be stored here and you should be able to access all this. So for each, after completion of each class, right, it takes 2 to 3 hours to process. Ideally, the next day morning, I'll update and it will be available for you to listen again if it is required to. Okay, so most of our content, right, it will give a good idea about like, okay, to prepare for the ISTQB. Okay, I also expected this question. Yes, our course content at least enable you to understand the concept of like what is required for the ISTQB certification. And also like, okay, this ISTQB certification, right? So you have to register for the ISTQB, and I think there is a certification fees 214 or 199. I exactly don't remember that, but there is a certification fees as well. And I'll quickly show you. So this is the ISTQB syllabus. Okay. This is for the foundation level, and all this is the material I'll provide it to you as well. And whatever we cover right in our course. Okay. And most of these topics will be covered in our course. But only the thing is, this will have a lot of the theory. Okay. So ISTQB is basically it is the theoretical one. So you have to read a lot to clear the exam. That's it. You'll understand the concept in our course, but to clear the certification, right, you have to read a lot.
Quick question, please.
Okay, ISTQB is International Software Testing Qualification Board. Okay, so this is a globally recognized certification for the testers. See, Nikant, see, completely it is a theoretical. Okay, the ISTQB is almost everything is theoretical, and it is mainly scenario based. Okay, I think there was one question somebody was asking.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, Ola, go on.
I just wanted you to show the functions and roles of the system DevOps team in all of this software development lifecycle. The system and DevOps team.
Okay, DevOps is like, okay, I'll explain you, okay, anyway, how it works. 1 second. Let me quickly explain how the DevOps will fit into this, right? That is what your question is.
Correct. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Okay, DevOps is nothing but a development operations. What is the DevOps role in this whole the software development life cycle? And where do they fit in? See, DevOps team, the mainly fit in a the coding and environment. So earlier days, right, the developers, what they used to do is they used to manually prepare, build, and they used to manually do the deployments. So with this DevOps, right, what they are doing is they are building the continuous integration and continuous deployment pipelines. Okay. So here what they do is they write some code, okay, some logic, and they create the pipelines. Pipeline is nothing but a instruction. Okay, well, instruction. Where do ideally the developers store the code? Any version management, right? Git is one of them. Okay. And what these pipelines the DevOps team does is they'll take the latest code and prepare the build and do the deployment into whatever the environment, QA environment or prod environment. Based on these instructions, right, it will automatically deploy your code into this environment. Okay. And also whatever the infrastructure is required, that infrastructure also will be managed by the DevOps team. What is the infrastructure? Infrastructure is like, okay, if you take AWS, right? So you need some 4 EC2 instances for the application to support. You need a 4 database servers and they should be auto scaling rules. All these will be managed by the DevOps teams. What is the main role of the DevOps? DevOps main role is they will create the automatic pipelines. These pipelines will have the set of instructions. So based on the instructions, right, they will actually create the builds and also they do the deployments in the certain environments. Is it the dev environment or SIT environment or a performance environment or in the prod environment, that automatically these pipelines will deploy the code. Okay. So is it clear?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. And Pradeep, so okay, do you have any group discussion system? Okay, currently, like we have only the WhatsApp channel. You guys feel free to like post any questions. Okay, and yeah. So if anyone in the group knows, they can respond or I'll respond. So if I'm not correct, Pradeep, you are asking about like, okay, the group discussion. within this course, right? Within the course team members.
Yeah, within the student, your student beyond
Okay.
inside the
Yeah.
course class.
Okay, cool. So that's a WhatsApp. Like, okay, whoever is having any questions, right? The best way is to put it in a WhatsApp. Or like, okay, if you need any the focused 5-10 minutes actually connect with me, just put it in the WhatsApp, and so we can connect based on the feasible time.
Okay. Thank
Ideally,
you.
like, okay, whoever is having, because even earlier batches all right, whenever they have any questions, even from last 4-5 batches, I think, yeah, 4-5 months back, the teams also, they will actually reach out to me if they have any the questions, and if they need some assistance with the few of the topics. Okay, so we'll be providing the support. Okay, any other questions? Okay, thank you. And I'll quickly, maybe it takes another 10 minutes. I hope everyone is okay with that. And I'll quickly cover what are the different software development lifecycle models we have. So predominantly there are three software development lifecycle models, though there are other models like a prototype model, spiral model and all, but those were actually like not used much in the overall software industry. The first one is waterfall model. This is also called as a traditional model. So until 2000, right, this waterfall model, this was being widely used model. Okay. So in this waterfall model, right, so you will have the typical, these are the stages. Okay. And here in the waterfall model, all the requirements, okay, all the requirements has to be finalized. And this model doesn't support any changes to the requirements once you start your the coding. Okay, and that is a one major drawback. And here, right, in the waterfall model, until your requirement analysis and all the requirements are completed, you cannot start with your design and architecture. You have to 100%, you have to finalize your requirements, and then only design and architecture will start. Until this is 100% complete, right, the development team cannot onboard. Only once these requirement and design and architecture is ready, then only developers will start working on the development. And until actually the development team complete the coding, the testing team cannot start any testing activities. Okay. And once all these three phases are completed, then only QA team will start with the testing. Until all these are completed, you cannot do any deployment. Okay. And then obviously maintenance is the last phase. Here, problem is the project duration. Project duration. Even based on the size of the project, right? Even if it takes 2 years, even if it takes 2 years, you don't have any option. You have to wait for 2 years. That is a huge period, right? Today, my e-commerce, okay, I feel like, okay, the e-commerce, if I build the e-commerce application, that might actually click. But after 2 years, who knows what is the customer preference? That is one of the biggest drawback, the project duration. Next one is return on investment. You have to wait for 2 years. You have to spend all 2 years to get your first return on investment. Once you deploy, then you don't know like, okay, how much return investment. Whatever you spend for these 2 years, you have to expect only after 2 years. And another one is the drawback is flexibility. It doesn't have any flexibility. Okay. Even if they want to make small changes to the requirement, this model doesn't allow to make the change. Okay. It has to go through a lot of process to incorporate any additional requirement. That is the one of biggest drawback with the waterfall model. And obviously, this testing, you cannot start your QA until this complete code development is done. You can't even start your preparation activities. Okay. So altogether, it impacts the overall project duration and also the end user satisfaction. So end user has to wait for those 2 years to see the first functionality. So that is the biggest flaw. But so that is how until 2000 the projects were being managed. Okay, they didn't have any option. Okay, they had to go with the same waterfall model. And after during early, not early, um, I think in 1990s, like okay, they come up with the alternate model for the V model. Okay, so I think everyone has to wait. Okay, and if I take the testing team, they have to wait until all the phases are completed. So maybe we can start some preparation activities in parallel. So that is where they came up with a V model. In the V model, again it is the same thing. Okay, it will go for the long duration. Okay, and it doesn't have the flexibility, all those. But only one advantage with this V model is whenever you have the business requirement, right? The testers can create user acceptance testing require the test cases. During the system requirements, the testing team can create the system integration test cases. During the high level design, testing team can create the system testing test cases. And during the low level design, the developers can create unit test cases and coding. Okay. Again, only the preparation activities are can be carried out, but they cannot do the actual testing until the complete coding is done. Again, it is the same similar to the waterfall. It is a big bang, but only the thing is you are enabling the preparation phase, but you are not reducing maybe the little bit of the preparation phase, right? Maybe it takes 2 months out of 24 months. If take it 24 months, maybe it takes 22 months here because you might be reducing 2 months of preparation activities. That is only the advantage. And so I think developers, right? Many of them like, okay, I think there is something wrong with these models. Like, okay, why do we need like to spend 2.5 years to complete the project? So that is where in early 2000s, there were like-minded developers, they gathered together and they went through the lot of thought process. Okay, thought process, and they came up with the iterative model. They came up with what? Iterative or agile model. In the iterative model, unlike the waterfall model or V model, this will go in small chunks. Okay, whatever is the important and the priority requirements, so they'll put it in few sprints, sprint 1, sprint 2, and they will release very frequently, once in a month, so that end users should get a chance to see the application application in 2 or 3 months. Okay, the first feature in the application, right? They should be able to see in 2 or 3 months. They don't need to wait for 2 years. Okay. And they also define some principles as well. Okay. The main highest priority in agile method, right? The working software is a highest priority rather than any of the documentation. That is the main principle in the agile model. When we get into the agile, right? So we'll see like what are the principles, what are the other important aspects in the agile model. Okay, what is a sprint, what is a backlog, all those we'll understand in detail. Okay, and again, it is just for a understanding purpose, like what are the different software development lifecycle models. Um, Predominantly, these are the three widely being used development life cycles. And nowadays, most of the projects, right? Most of the projects, they're following the agile methodology. Okay, there are the other models as well, spiral and prototype. Spiral and prototype, but spiral and prototype. These were actually very, only for a short time, right? They tried like okay, how these works, but I think these were not successful development lifecycle models. Okay, so this is about different software development lifecycle models. And in tomorrow's class, we will cover software testing lifecycle and what are the different types of testing, all those. Before going there, now quickly, I'll just give couple of examples why software testing is so important. Okay, let us see couple of examples here. Okay, if we go to the first example, right? Ariane flight V88 number 501. So when this rocket was launched, right, due to the small software defect, okay, it was actually collapsed within 40 seconds. And do you know like how much impact? It was impacted $370 million. $370 million. It is just a very small software defect. This is the classic example. This is the classic example how important the thorough testing or QA is. Another second example, right? It's very famous. Okay, the Y2K defect until 2000, right? The calendar in the mainframes. Okay, calendar in the mainframes. Mainframes is one of the technologies used during those days. Most of the banking applications and other applications, right? They were using the mainframes. So the calendar, the format, right? The date format, it had only 2 digits. Okay, that is how they designed the software application. When it turned from 99 to 2000, because since there was no logic, and most of the applications started crashing. When the calendar changed from 99 to 2000, that's where like okay, many of the applications started crashing. Okay, and just because of they did not implement a small logic, and they did not anticipate that 2 digits will become 4 digits. And do you know like okay how much the revenue loss? It was almost $500 billion. It impacted stock market, it impacted banking applications, insurance applications, so many applications. So it impacted so $500 billion. This is the most expensive defect ever, most expensive defect ever in the software software world. Okay, if you see like it is very simple. Okay, and just only because there is one scenario not tested that cost $500 billion. Okay, so these are the example. Okay, these in many of the QA forums they refer. Okay, to showcase how important the QA is. And also see like this testing, right? It is not only limited to the software, it is everywhere. Okay. Even if you take the healthcare industry, okay, whenever they invent a new medicine, right? Do they directly actually launch on the humans? Do they directly launch into the market? No, right? They'll go to the lot of testing. They'll go to the lot of clinical trials. First, they'll apply on some animals and different blood groups, different age groups. And once they ensure it works for every age group, every blood group, and then only they will release it to the market. So what does it mean? They go through the lot of testing. Lot of clinical trials is nothing but it's they'll go to the lot of testing combinations. Okay, was the latest Microsoft outage the CrowdStrike? Okay, so it is again, yes, it is not due to the functional testing. It is due to some the operational or the performance testing. Okay, so do you know like okay, it costed 2 lines of code. 2 lines of code. It costed like the global outage for the Microsoft. So there is a 1 line of code like the memory is properly not allocated. That is where the issue was. Even if you take the automotive industry, right? So whenever they launch the new car, do they directly launch onto the market? Suppose if I take the well-known brands like BMW or Mercedes, so though they have a lot of reputation, when they come up with a new car model, do they directly launch to the market? No, they will go to a lot of testing. Okay, so they will test airbags, they'll test the speed, they'll test the warning symbols, they'll see the extreme climatic conditions, they'll check the speed. Okay, and they will do the thorough testing for each and every aspects. Like okay, if there is the air low air in the tire, whether it is giving the warning signal or not, and uh, the blind spots, okay, that it is giving the indicator or not. So there's so many testings they will go through before launching the new model. Okay, even in the food industry, if you see like any food item, right, how do they put the expiry date or best before? Okay, so they'll go to the lot of testing, right? Each food item, some bakery items, maybe it will only last for 2 days. Okay, and few items it may last for 20 days. Okay, so all those like okay, they'll go through a lot of testing, and they'll ensure like okay, on which point it is started losing its authenticity. That is where actually they'll put the expiry date and all, or a best before. Even in the aerospace industry, okay, to launch one rocket, how many number of the experiments, the hypothesis they do. Okay, those are all called testing. Even in the housing industry, at each stage, including the design and building the frames, building the roof, every stage, right? There'll be the heavy the testing is involved. And information technology. So as I said, right, um, to best of my knowledge, right, there is no there is no application, front end application, which is a customer based application without a testing. Okay. And beauty of testing is like okay, so you like unlike the development team, right? So the application develops in many the coding languages like Java, Python, .NET, Ruby, so many things. But for the testers, so we mainly focus on the functionality. Okay, so we validate only the black box. We don't worry about what coding and how the logic is being run in the coding. So we mainly focus on the, we get into the end user shoes and we test the functionality, and we'll ensure this application is working as per the requirements. Okay. What I'll do is I'll stop it there. I think I don't want to bombard everything on day one. And let's get into the today's assignment. Okay, and also if you're not registered, right, just send me a message or to Lakshmi, so that actually we will actually create those the links, whatever the necessary links, and also we'll add to the drive as well. And what are the assignments? It's a simple assignment. Okay, so you will get a chance to access the Confluence, and also you'll get some experience to create so one page in the Confluence and add few details here. Okay, so if you open your email, there is a link, Confluence link. Let me show. Let me take. So what you do is you click on that link and click on create page, and go and see like what is the page. Give my first QA assignment. This is what the title you can give, and then click on publish. Okay, so here you can select whatever it is. Okay, now I have created a page, and after creating a page, what do I need to add there? I just document different HDLC models and publish. Okay, so update your picture and details. Go to your profile in Confluence and update your picture and details. What is the next step? Document different HDLC model. Okay, now today we have learned about this different HDLC model, right? Go to edit, and then what you do is whatever you understood, you just put it. Okay, and what I'm just doing is I'm just copying. I'll just copy these HDLC models. And what I'll do is I'll just start writing like, okay, waterfall model. And if you need some help, right, what you do is you can search in a Google and you can put it, and or you can, whatever you understood, you just actually type and put it here. Same for V model and same for iterative model, and then update it. And then this is what actually I was telling. If you have a picture, right, you can edit your profile and then just upload the picture. Okay, so that is what the assignment for today. Is it simple?
Yeah.
Okay, so I want actually everyone to complete, and whoever is not registered, yeah, please just actually reach out to me or Lakshmi, so that actually we will create all the necessary links for you guys. Okay, so that's it for today. And do you have any further questions? Yes, no. Okay, randomly I'll ask somebody like Alex, how did you find today's class?
Hello, sir. First of all, thank you again for giving me this opportunity. Yeah, it was a good refreshment again from the basics, and it will help me throughout the course.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, that is good. Just complete the assignment. And in case if you have any issues with the access to the conference, just let me know. I can fix it. Okay.
Sir, how do we reach you?
Oh, very good question. Okay, I did not give my mobile number. Just give me a minute. I'll ping my mobile number here. Just give me a minute. There is I'll ping there 1 second. So this is my WhatsApp number. Okay, I pinged WhatsApp number here. Okay, so you can reach out to me if you have any questions. Okay, and also I'll stay for another 2-3 minutes. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer. Any questions about the course or certifications or anything about the course content, tools, anything you can ask.
Hello.
Okay, Nikan. Okay, can you please share on 22nd July? Okay.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, go on, go on.
Yes, I have a question.
Yeah, go on.
Registering the conference, you
Yeah.
have to create a new account, or you can just use your Google account to sign in.
See, like, okay, so whatever the email address you have provided, right? Using your email address, I have created the conference pages. Okay.
Mhm.
And if you're not provided, then yes, yeah, you have to provide. Then I'll create one more conference page for you. Then you'll be able to access.
Yes, I did provide my email and I got the link, but I am trying to log in. It's not enabling me, but I did get in with my Google account. And then it took me back again to verify, and then still saying I should create a new email.
Okay, Sammy, like, okay, let me check after the class. I'll check it out. Maybe some access permission issues. I'll fix that.
All right, thank you.
No problem. Okay, any last questions?
Yeah, I have one question here.
Yeah, go on.
Actually, during the class, you showed me that IS2QB material.
Yeah.
So, if we search in the Google in IS2QB website, we will get that material, right?
Yes, yes. Yeah, that is right.
But Is there any documentation like easy to understand? That is a bit last
Okay.
week I reviewed
So
that, but some words are very difficult to understand myself.
correct. That's why I told like, okay, once we go through our course, right? So
Yeah.
most of those topics are covered in our course. Okay. So
Okay.
you will be able to understand. So we'll cover, okay, what are the terminologies they use, right? Like for
Mhm.
example, the boundary value analysis, or the
Yeah.
equivalence partitioning,
Mhm.
or the error guessing. So these are the new terminologies. Those will be there in that the ISTQB. Without any context, right? If you read that, you will be lost. Okay. So that's why in our course will cover those the topics which are important for the ISTQB as well. So once we go through that, right, you will feel more comfortable.
Except that, do you have any documentation? I mean, not that one, the
Yes,
STQB
we
one.
have the not the ISTQB one. So we have the material for every day. So uh, mm, whatever we have covered today, right? Similarly, there are the material for every day. Okay. So which is a simple and you will be able to understand easily.
Okay.
And so whatever we cover in our material, right? At least majority of those will be covered in ISTQB as well.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Sir, I also have one question around the test, the I, ISTL.
ISTQB, yeah, ISTQB.
Sorry, it is very, very new for me, so I'm not very, I mean, very known
No,
with
that's fine. You'll
but
be
then
there. You see, by end of week one, you'll be more comfortable, okay, with this QA terminologies. See, once you start getting into this testing terminologies, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure like by end of week one, so you'll feel more comfortable understanding these terminologies.
Yeah, I hope so. So I was also wondering about regarding the test and also because test is the end of the course, right? Like we'll have to give the test to be qualified.
See, it not necessarily that is what I tell to every tester. Okay, in the testing, right? The ISTQB is mainly it is a theoretical.
Mhm.
Okay, so you if you prepare and if you write the exam, right, you might clear it. But mainly interview point of view, right? Interview point of view, they will ask the scenario based questions based on like okay what experience we have, and they'll give few scenarios and they'll ask like okay how do you write the test cases and what are the defects you identified. These kind of a questions you can expect in an interview.
Okay.
But the certification, right, it will give a value add
Yeah.
because no one will ask the questions from the certification material or certification content.
Yeah.
Okay, so everyone asks like okay what is your real time experience and
Mhm.
real time scenarios. This is just only value add like to take the certification.
But then there's also experience that we need to show. And where will we get that from? Because these days is with the jobs and all, they are looking for experience, 4 years, 5 years of experience with testing.
Yeah, that's a that's a very good question. See, ideally, what people do, right? So, whatever the current job they are doing it, they are actually converting that into testing and they are applying. Okay, or you have to look for the junior roles or the freelance. Start with the freelancing jobs.
Right.
Yeah, start with the freelancing jobs. That is
And how easy are those to get, like the freelancing jobs? And then how, would you be able to help us around there?
yes. So towards end of this course, right, I'll show you how what are the freelancing portals. So
Mhm.
how to apply for them and how to complete those projects. I'll show you that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. That towards end of the
Yeah.
yes, Upwork
Yeah.
is there and there are few more are there.
Mhm.
U test is a one. Upwork is a one, and there are couple more are there so that you can register and then they'll publish the projects. Okay, they'll send you the emails, and
Yeah.
you have to just if you pick up that work, right, you should be you would be able to actually complete a few validations. So yeah, they frequently post the projects, Upwork and Utest.
Right. Okay.
Hmm.
But would they not say, okay, do you have any experience to take
No, no,
my?
no.
Okay.
No, they'll just actually have to update your profile, and they just actually assign it, and they don't care about like, okay, how much experience we have.
All right. Okay. And you help us with our LinkedIn profile as well.
Yes, yes, LinkedIn profile also will help.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
After completion of this course, we are eligible for entry level, or we need to put some experience for getting job here.
So this course will enable you on both for entry level and also for the experienced. But like, okay, how you manage your experience is the question.
Yeah, that is the problem actually.
Okay.
Entry level in the sense, how can we? I don't know about. Can you explain about that?
So entry level means like basically for the see somebody who fresh graduates come out from the colleges, right? What they do is they apply for some intern jobs or the junior roles. Okay,
Okay.
so that is the entry level. The second one is junior roles are the 2 to 3 years of experience. So
Okay.
ideally 2 to 3 years of experience, right? They won't expect too much, right? Any company for 2 years, but there'll be jobs, and for that actually how you manage your experience, whether it's if you have worked in a different industry, whether you are trying to convert that experience into testing based on your the confidence on the testing. Okay. Uh,
Okay.
so yeah, that's how I think few of the students manage.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so where is the question? How is the job market familiar with one second, Isaac, one question. Okay, familiar with Selenium WebDriver as well as the other automated testing technologies such as a Catalan Studio and Cucumber. Yeah. So job market, Isaac, like okay, see, for the QA, definitely there will be always jobs. Okay, but what type of a job, that actually it is specific to the certain market. Okay, familiar with Selenium WebDriver as well as other automated testing technologies. Is it a question or is it some exposure you have on those, Ishak?
I got it from a job description.
Okay,
And
okay, okay.
I
This
was
is
wondering,
from the job description.
are we gonna learn? I was looking at jobs on Indeed, and then I was wondering if we're gonna learn those. It was part of the job description.
Okay, okay, okay. No, no, no. This is purely related to the automation testing. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is automation testing, which needs skills for the Selenium WebDriver and also the frameworks like Cucumber. But here actually we are enabling on the foundation of the QA, Isaac. Like, okay. So by end of this course, right, you will be well versed with the QA and also good, very good hands-on experience on tools like Postman and SQL and all. But automation is definitely
Okay.
is the next step. Next step, because
And
for that you
okay,
need to have
automation.
some coding skills.
Automation will be the next session, the next class, right? The next
Next step. Yeah, next step or next separate course.
Yeah, because I'm looking out Indeed, and I don't see a lot of jobs in manual. testing. I only see like a lot of automation testing.
Not really. Okay, because like which area you are looking for? Is it
I'm looking on
US or
Indeed.
no? Indeed, is it
Yeah,
for the
US.
US?
Yeah,
Okay,
US.
okay. Let us check.
A meeting.
There you go.
Okay, I'm checking in the United States. Like, okay, so there are a lot of jobs for QA manual tester. Okay, so how many jobs are there? Like, okay, almost so many jobs.
But this is
Let
LinkedIn.
me
I was checking Indeed.
Indeed. Okay, yeah. So past 1 week, there are 4K results just only for the manual QA. I did not even put the automation testing. Okay, and if you see like all the manual tester jobs.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, look on LinkedIn, then Dice.
Yeah. LinkedIn, like there are a lot of jobs. Like, see, last 1 week, 4,000 jobs is it's a huge. And even if you want to search in United Kingdom, even there there are a handful of jobs, 735. Even if I take India, there's a 1839 jobs only for the manual testers. Even if I put Australia, there should be some. Australia also 182. It's not a bad number.
One thing, Balu, I just want to add up here. If it is like manual
Charu, like okay, the business, the big for beginners, right? So even in Queensland or wherever in Australia, it will start from around 70, 75. For the beginners, definitely it will be 70, 75. Okay, Tripura, see here like vibration testing, mobile testing. See here actually this is in the Victoria, Melbourne, Knoxfield. Okay, this is the Victoria. So here also test lead, the manual testing.
I think there are no entry level jobs, I guess. All are like
No,
testing.
entry level jobs, yes. Entry level jobs are like, okay, yeah, it's very less. Not only in Australia, in across, even if you take globally, right? Entry level jobs are very limited.
Okay. And so once we are done with this, so is there any course for automation also where we can learn? And even in automation, when we see the job postings, one job will say like Selenium Cucumber, and the other is for ERP testing or mobile testing. I'm not able to see
Correct.
the different types of jobs in only one type of automation.
Yeah.
Instead,
What are you doing?
Yeah,
Get
there
your
are a
ass
lot
in
of
here.
yeah, there are a lot of automation tools, but yeah, Selenium is widely being used, and also like okay, even you can learn the Postman automation now
I thought you don't go up
because
there.
in the cloud world, right? In the cloud world, like there's a most of the companies they are using the um,
I don't.
they're implementing the microservices and APIs. So for that, like okay, you can use the Postman, which is a widely being used tool and also easy to automate.
Okay, so do we need to learn something, some language for that?
Yes, like okay,
Yes.
so after
Not a
completion
problem.
of this course, right?
Something.
See, you can try first on the QA, okay? Because after completion of this course, right, if you complete all the assignments and if you spend some time to practice whatever we cover in the course, definitely, definitely you will be able to um, clear the interviews for the manual testing at least. So when you start doing this, right, in parallel, you can start actually enabling yourself on the automation as well to uplift your skills. So to do the automation, as I said, right, you need to know at least one coding language like a C, Java, or Python, whatever it is.
Okay, are you offering any automation courses?
See, automation courses we're planning to start. Okay. And also what I'm thinking is after completion of this course, right? I'm also trying to give like couple of the free sessions for the automation on the Postman. So that's what I'm thinking.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Sir, I have one more question.
Yeah, go on.
So again, I'll just start as a beginner. So
Hmm.
I'm seeing that many people are talking about selenium and cucumber and these sort of things. Now, how
Hmm.
important it is for somebody who's so beginner with say with QA manual that I should worry about selenium and cucumber, or should I, what would be your advice to for somebody like a beginner to just stick to the manual and get experience on it, or jump onto testing and automation and keep on learning? Like how important it is for me to jump on Selenium, Postman, like everything that you just said. um or should I focus on manual testing and get experience on there?
So it's a very good point. Like, okay. So this is what like, okay, I tell to many people. Like, okay, if you want to go to the first floor, right? And it looks very beautiful and you want to reach there. So how do you go there? Like you have to, even if you jump 100 times, will you be able to go to the first floor? No,
No.
right? So you have to go step by step. Okay. You have to take the stairs or whatever the things like, then you can slowly reach to the first floor. Here also the same thing. Like first actually focus only on the manual first. Okay. So once you completely enable and you are confident, like, okay, in the manual, you ask me anything in the testing, I should be able to answer. When you get into that position, right, then slowly enhance your skills, enhance your skills to automation. Because I know like automation is definitely it is a fancy thing and good to have, but actually to reach there, first we have to cover the basics. We have to build our strong foundation. Okay, once you build your strong foundation, right? On your strong foundation, like you can build whatever you want, automation or performance or uh, security testing, whatever it is, right? You can build, but first you have to build the base. So my suggestion is first go, don't think about automation, all those stuff. First actually think about, okay, you have to be enabled completely on the QA manual, and then you can think of automation.
Okay, thank you.
Problem, and there is a one question. Will Okay, yes, W3 schools definitely, yes, it gives a lot of syntax and everything. And now, like, there are some restriction for the DML. Okay, you can't create and you can't update because earlier, right, 5, 6 months back, they used to allow us to create the queries and update the data, all those stuff. But now they have the restrictions. So you can't create the tables and you can't delete the tables. So that's why, anyway, I'll cover the W3 schools as well. Like it's a good platform to understand the syntax and they'll give the examples as well. And at the same time, we will be using the SQL, MySQL. That is where we'll create the tables and we delete the tables, we update the data, all those stuff.
I have a question.
Yeah, go on.
Yes. So manual testing. What's the difference between manual testing and the automated testing? Is it like just when they do the manual testing, and when they do the manual testing, where as opposed to the automated testing, are they just testing the same functionalities to get the same results, or they are testing different components?
Okay, very good question. Okay, the first of all, manual testing is you are manually validating the functionality. Okay, and comparing with the requirements whether it is functioning correctly or not. Okay, so for that actually you are not writing any code, you are just following the steps to validate the certain functionality. But where in automation, you write some code. Okay. You just check like, okay, in this particular page, these objects are displayed or not. In the next step, these objects are displayed in that page or not, it is functioning correctly or not. That you automatically you write some code to validate that functionality is working fine or not. So when do we use this automation? So mainly if there is a lot of regression. Regression means like, okay, so you have certain functionality and every time actually they are adding the new functionality on top of that. So when the new functionality is getting added, right, what you do, you have to test the old functionality as well, whether it is working or not. In those kind of a scenarios, mainly automation is used because it is a redundant. In the redundant, you no need to actually every time spend manual efforts. That is where wherever we have the redundant activities, right? We do the automation and we run it through the automation tool. For that, you need to write some code. You need to enable yourself on the some coding technology or coding language, whatever you call it as.
Okay, thank
So
you.
does it answer your question?
Yes,
Okay,
thank you.
cool. Okay, is that all or any other questions?
Yeah, I'm not able to log in the Confluence
Yeah,
app.
like what I'll do is I'll just fix it. Like looks like some access issue. I'll
Yeah,
fix
does
it.
not have access to Confluence on that.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
looks like some access issue. I'll fix it quickly.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So if no other questions, probably we can wind it up. And also, like whoever is not registered, right, and you are interested to register to this one, please just message me or Lakshmi. Like we'll help you to register and send you all the links. Okay, so guys, I think like there's an access issue. I'll fix it straight away after this. Okay,
Yeah. Thank you for the Day1.
no problem. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Have a
so
good
much,
one,
Balu.
and we'll catch you tomorrow.
Thank
Cheers.
you.
Bye.